An eighth round of talks between protesting farmers and the government is scheduled at 2 p.m. today. All eyes are going to be on those talks. The talks are going to be held at Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi. Farmers have threatened to intensify their agitation if there is no breakthrough in the talks. Farmers are planning to enter into Delhi for a tractor march on Republic Day. Before that, nationwide protest rallies are planned between 6th of January and 20th as well. While farmers stick to the demand for repeal of 3 farm laws, the government has maintained that it is ready for amendments but cannot withdraw the laws. In the last round of talks held on 30th of December, agreement was reached upon at least 2 out of the 4 demands raised by the farmers. But the deadlock continues on 2 key demands. That includes legal guarantee for MSP and withdrawal of farm laws. And while we're discussing the farmers, amidst heavy rainfall, the farmers continue their stir at the Singhu and Ghazipur border. They face several challenges. Their hopes were high, with a motive to intensify the stir. Here is more.
Freezing weather, heavy rain, but hopes still high. Sunday's unseasonal rains and freezing temperature in the national capital have increased the woes of farmers protesting at Delhi borders. While waterproof tents saved the farmers from the showers, there was waterlogging at Singhu and Ghazipur borders where farmers are positioned.
You can see there are the 2 types of sheds. The first is a tent in which they are living, and second one is a temporary sheds, and they are living. They are saying they are still here to till then outcome of conversation between farmers and the government will come.
Even in such adverse conditions, farmers remain undeterred, pledging to intensify the protests if their demands are not met.
यहाँ सरकार को समझना चाहिए, यहाँ जो लोग हैं दिल से दुखी होकर निकल के आए हैं, जिनका वजूद बिल्कुल समझ लीजिए किसानों का खत्म होने जा रहा है।
बेटे ठंड तो लग रही है, फिर हमारी समस्या है हमारे साथ। यदि हमारी समस्या हल ना हो, हम निमट जाएंगे, हम जागे नहीं जुआरे। देखो क्या हालत हो रही है हमारी बारिश में, आप देख रहे हो, अग्नि जला रखी उसके आगे बैठे हैं।
On the other hand, farmers are happy that it rained and it cannot tear down their spirits and hope.
जब कभी बारिश आती है तो किसानों को तो खुशी हो जाती है, क्योंकि हम तो बारिशों में रहे हैं। तो पहली बात ये हमारा क्या नुकसान करेगी बारिश, लेकिन फिर भी अगर आप पूछ रहे हो तो मैं आपको थोड़ा बताना चाहूंगा कि जहां पर हमारे तरपाल वगैरह थे वो थोड़े से फट गए हैं, जिसकी वजह से हल्का फुल्का नुकसान हुआ है, कोई बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है।
The situation is same at Singhu border. Farmers remain on the ground until the demands are met.
It seems the water tap has been turned on. It's been pouring cats and dogs since morning. But yes, a little relief coming in. But here in Singhu border, despite cold and inclement weather, the josh of the farmers is high.
They blame that government is still not listening to their demands.
जो हमारी सरकारें आज तक आई हैं, किसी ने भी किसान की सुध नहीं ली, और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि जो बीजेपी सरकार आज सेंटर में बैठी हुई है वो इन ठंड में बैठे हुए किसानों की तरफ ध्यान दे।
At the Singhu border, kids of protesters held a kabaddi match with farmers.
मैम, मैदान तो चाहे कुछ भी हो, जंग तो हर जगह ही होती है। कंपटीशन तो हर जगह ही है, या इधर है या उधर है। हर चीज में कंपटीशन तो होता ही है ना किसी चीज के लिए इंसान लड़ ही रहा है। किसान अपनी चीज के लिए लड़ रहे हैं और हम अपने गेम के वजह से लड़ रहे हैं।
Farmers have announced a tractor march in Delhi on January 26th after the Republic Day parade if their demands are not met till then.
गणतंत्र दिवस को अपने ट्रैक्टर और व्हीकल परेड करके उसको मनाएंगे, और 26 को दिल्ली में हमारे ट्रैक्टर फ्लैग्स लगा के दिल्ली में परेड करेंगे।
The 8th round of talks between farmers and the central government is scheduled on Monday. Government has expressed hope that there will be a breakthrough.
हम तो आशावान हैं कि किसानों की समस्याओं में निजात होगा, उसमें समाधान होगा, और समाधान के साथ यह आंदोलन भी समाप्त होगा।
As Delhi braves cold wave, the weather gods play havoc right here at Singhu border. Whether it's cold, whether it's rains, whether it's sun, the farmers are braving this with a smile. There are entertainment programs like Kabaddi being played out here, but the real match, the dangal, is between the farmers and the government on January 4th, and whether any solution will come up. With camera person Anurag Saxena, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Delhi for India Today.
With some headway being made in the past round of talks, the government is now hopeful of further breakthroughs. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar had on Friday said that the government is hopeful of a positive outcome in the 8th round of talks. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar also expressed hope that solution is going to be arrived at in today's talks and that the farmer will end their agitation. The farmers, on the other hand, are not so hopeful. Farmer leaders are claiming that the government is trying to prolong the process of any solution so as to derail the ongoing agitation. And let's now listen into what the Agriculture Minister had to say after 7th round of talks with farmers on 30th of December.
जो 4 विषय चर्चा के लिए रखे थे, उनमें 2 विषयों पर आपसी रजामंदी सरकार और यूनियन के बीच में हो गई है। पहला जो एनवायरनमेंट से संबंधित ऑर्डिनेंस है, उसमें फराली और किसान सम्मिलित हैं। उनकी शंका थी कि किसान को इसमें नहीं होना चाहिए। सरकार ने कहा है कि हम आपकी चिंता से वाकिफ़ हैं और इस मामले में दोनों पक्षों में रजामंदी हो गई है। दूसरा, किसानों की सिंचाई के लिए जो विद्युत की सब्सिडी दी जाती है, वो राज्य जिस प्रकार से पहले से देते रहे हैं वैसी ही चलनी चाहिए, ऐसी यूनियंस की मांग थी। उस मांग पर भी यूनियन और सरकार के बीच में रजामंदी हो गई है।
The tussle between the brothers M.K. Stalin and M.K. Alagiri continues. Former Union Minister Alagiri had a meeting in Madurai on Sunday. He discussed his future course of action in Tamil Nadu politics. Taking a jibe at his brother and DMK chief M.K. Stalin, Alagiri said that he was betrayed and worked only for the cadres. He also claimed that Stalin was jealous of his growth and claimed that Stalin took help of other senior DMK leaders to get party positions for him. Speaking at a meeting with his supporters, Alagiri positioned to revive his influence in Tamil Nadu politics ahead of the state assembly elections slated next year. Remember, the tussle between Alagiri and Stalin began after Karunanidhi's death in 2018, as both wanted to be the president of the DMK. In 2013, Alagiri was accused as the main conspirator in the death of former DMK minister P. Kiruttinan, which gave Stalin a power push to the DMK throne. And India finally joins the Club of Nations with its own COVID vaccine. The Apex Drug Control Body, DCGI, has cleared the emergency use of Serum Institute's Covishield and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin. No less than a quantum leap in India's fight against the coronavirus. Here's more.
The magic bullet is finally here. India finally gets its vaccines for coronavirus. In a major breakthrough against COVID-19, the Drugs Controller General of India approved 2 vaccines for emergency use. On Sunday, the DCGI gave its nod to Serum Institute of India, Covishield and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin vaccines. The developers, however, will continue with their clinical trials.
Phase 2 clinical trials were conducted in approximately 800 subjects, and results have demonstrated that the vaccine is safe and provides a robust immune response. The subject expert committee has reviewed the data on safety and immunogenicity of the vaccine and recommended for grant of permission for restricted use in emergency situation.
But Covishield and Covaxin, which is India's first indigenous vaccine, will be administered in 2 doses each. While Covaxin showed 60% efficacy, Serum Institute's Covishield showed 70% efficacy.
In the beginning, it will be basically Serum Institute of India, the AstraZeneca vaccine, which will be given. They already have 50 million doses available, and they will be able to give that to the initial phase where we will vaccinate around 3 crore people.
Clearing the air on massive rollout of the vaccine, Serum Institute of India CEO Adar Poonawalla told India Today that the vaccine could be made available in markets as early as next month.
We were thinking probably March or April, but if we can satisfy all the requirements of the government and give it to the needy and the most vulnerable, as I mentioned before that, and the government eases their restrictions, then, that date could be as soon as February in the private market.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi welcomed the DCGI's decision and said that approval of 2 vaccines is a decisive turning point to strengthen a spirited fight.
The next mammoth task for the government would be the procurement as well as the distribution of the vaccines that have received emergency use authorization. Serum Institute's Covishield as well as Covaxin of Bharat Biotech will now be produced at breakneck speed and distributed across various states so that India can begin the vaccination drive. Milan Sharma for India Today.
India Today News Director Rahul Kamal spoke to Serum Institute of India Chief Adar Poonawalla on Covishield getting a nod. Take a listen in.
So the whole world's been awaiting these vaccines, but because the world is in the middle of a live pandemic, the regulatory processes have been speeded up. And there are questions about the efficacy of your vaccine and of all other vaccines as well. From what I've understood, it's been declared that the Serum Institute vaccine Covishield has an efficacy of 70%. What does that mean? Does that mean that if 10 people get the vaccine, it will be effective on 7? What happens to the other 3? Can you explain what efficacy means in the context of Covishield?
Okay, so let me explain in the context of Covishield first and what efficacy really is here. We have proven in our trials that we have 100% efficacy on hospitalizations. So 0 hospitalizations were found in the people who took the Covishield vaccine globally, which is a great thing, which means it protects you against severe disease. You could still get infected, pass it on to others, because all the vaccines that we've heard about will not prevent infection totally. In half of the people who have got vaccinated, you'll still be infected and can infect others, but you will be protected. So if you saw the efficacy results of Moderna, Pfizer, which was 95%, in AstraZeneca and Oxford, which is the Covishield product, we were at 70% for one arm and 90% for the other. And that's going to be made very clear as well. We are recommending also to the government of India that you keep a 2.5 to 3 month gap. And this is very important for the viewers and everyone listening, that if you keep a 2.5 to 3 month gap between the first shot of Covishield and the second shot of Covishield, you will have a 90% efficacy. This is proven and even announced by the CEO of AstraZeneca, Pascal, publicly, I think a week ago. And even that data will come out very soon because this was the second arm of the study and efficacy studies that was done abroad. So again, just to summarize, there are only 2 or 3 vaccines in the world, Pfizer, Moderna, the Oxford AstraZeneca, and I think Sinovac as well, that have proven efficacy results. There is no other vaccine, including ours, made in India and others, Russia, China, or even India, that have proven efficacy at all. And efficacy means you have to vaccinate 20-25,000 people and show that the vaccine actually protects you, not just a few hundred or a few thousand people to show safety and immunogenicity. So just to clarify, that is what Covishield has done. And we are one of 3 vaccines in the world, 3 or 4 vaccines in the world to have demonstrated efficacy. Nobody else has done that.
Full-blown politics ahead of vaccine rollout after Akhilesh Yadav declared he will not take the vaccine brought by BJP. Congress leaders question grant of emergency use approval to Made in India Covaxin. Government hits back, terms vaccine doubters in-house cynics. Here's a look.
Ugly vaccine politics ahead of India's imminent vaccine drive. Senior Congress leader Shashi Tharoor and Jairam Ramesh raised concerns over Bharat Biotech's Made in India Covaxin. Congress MP Tharoor called the approval premature and dangerous and asked people to avoid its use till full trials are over. Another senior leader, Jairam Ramesh, sought Health Ministry's clarification on why internationally accepted protocols on Phase 3 trials were being modified. But hours later, Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala struck a contrary note. In a tweet, Surjewala welcomed both the vaccine and congratulated the scientists and researchers involved in vaccine development.
My own view is that once the specialists, the epidemiologists, the virologists, the regulators have applied their mind and actually licensed a vaccine for emergency use or otherwise for mass proliferation, I think that should really settle the matter, because ultimately nobody should try and substitute their opinion.
I've answered the question on...
The government hit back with Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri termed Tharoor and Jairam Ramesh in-house cynics, saying they first questioned soldiers and are now questioning the vaccine.
सवाल करना करें, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन हमारे वैज्ञानिकों पर तो भरोसा रखें। जो वैज्ञानिक कह रहे हैं कि सारे प्रोटोकॉल के साथ हो रहा है, ये लोग वो हैं कि छुप करके लगवा लेंगे और लोग को इस तरह की बातों में भ्रम में रखेंगे।
Political color to vaccine was first given by Samajwadi chief Akhilesh Yadav on Saturday when he declared he will not take the vaccine brought by the BJP.
देखिए, मैं तो नहीं लगवाऊंगा अभी वैक्सीन, मैंने अपनी बात कह दी, और वो भी बीजेपी लगाएगी उसका भरोसा करूंगा मैं? अरे जाओ भाई, अरे अपनी सरकार आएगी सबको फ्री वैक्सीन लगेगी, हम बीजेपी का वैक्सीन नहीं लगवा सकते।
अबे अब अखिलेश यादव के पास कोई और वैक्सीन होगा तो वो ले लें, फाइजर हो या फिर आपका ऑक्सफोर्ड का हो या फिर भारत बायोटेक हो, ये तो सारी दुनिया में दिए जा रहे हैं, अब उनको नहीं लेना है तो ना लें।
Experts meanwhile advise politicians to exercise caution when they express their views.
It's important that public leaders speak with care and caution about their views, because their views have an extraordinary impact. It is perfectly legitimate, however, to raise important questions, and it's important that scientists answer these questions. So the framing of the questions and the concerns needs to be done fully, and all of us in science will be very happy to answer them fully.
PM Modi had earlier cautioned against rumor mongering against the vaccine.
मेरा देशवासियों से आग्रह होगा कि कोरोना के खिलाफ एक अनजान दुश्मन के खिलाफ लड़ाई है। अफवाहों के बाजार गर्म न होने दें, हम भी सोशल मीडिया में कुछ भी देखा बिना फॉरवर्ड न करें।
Can netas stop politicizing a vaccine which has potential to save crores of lives? Bureau Report, India Today.
As DCGI approved the emergency use of Covishield and Covaxin, India is waiting which vaccine is going to be available first. Meanwhile, experts are saying that Covishield is going to be used initially to vaccinate Indian population. Here's more to it.
As India gets its 2 vaccines for emergency use, some questioned on which vaccine will be administered first and their efficacy rates. Oxford's Covishield and vaccine got emergency nod on Sunday.
This product is something that we've been working on tirelessly, taking a lot of...
But Serum Institute chief Adar Poonawalla, who is developing Covishield, expresses his surprise over clearance of Bharat Biotech jab.
Well, it was a surprise because we thought that all companies have to conclude their efficacy studies. But if the government has decided in an emergency to license something which is safe, that's entirely their decision. I don't know what word to use, but that's something you have to ask them.
AIIMS director also vouched for Serum's Covishield to be used first. He said that Bharat Biotech will have to continue with their trial.
So the approval clearly says that only for an emergency situation, keeping in mind the circulating variant strain. And at the same time, they have to continue to do the trial and get the data in. So I think in the beginning, it will be basically Serum Institute of India, the AstraZeneca vaccine, which will be given.
Meanwhile, Indian Council of Medical Research, which is co-developing Covaxin, said that Bharat Biotech shot is best suited to counter the highly contagious UK strain.
Scientifically speaking, the Bharat Biotech vaccine being a whole virus vaccine, covering the entire surface of the virus, working on all the proteins of the virus, may potentially be more effective as we speak.
ICMR chief said vaccine can be made to change after phase 3 trial data in 3 to 4 weeks.
Approval has been given for clinical under clinical mode, which means that these patients who will be given this vaccines will be closely monitored, and the regulator will look at the data more closely for both for this vaccine as well as for the other vaccine, but it will be monitored very, very closely, and a rolling review will continue to happen.
Vaccinologist who oversaw the Covishield vaccine said that more and more vaccines need to come.
Look, we are delighted that more vaccines that are approved for dealing with COVID as soon as possible, the better for India, the better for the world. And of course, regulators have this very much in mind when they're looking at the safety and efficacy data of new vaccines.
With India getting approval for 2 back-to-back vaccines, we now have to wait to see if Covaxin can be fully ready for the mass vaccination drive. Bureau Report, India Today.
ICMR that helped Bharat Biotech develop the Covaxin believes that India-made vaccine is better suited to tackle the UK strain of COVID virus. ICMR Chief Balram Bhargava said that Covaxin, being a whole virus vaccine, can be better effective to contain the new mutation that is 70% more contagious. Here's a look.
Can you explain what this means and how the ICMR and the drug controller reached to this decision? Because the phase 3 trial results, the efficacy results, are not known. So we've essentially given emergency use permission to a vaccine whose efficacy isn't certain, isn't determined, hasn't been peer reviewed. How comfortable are you with that decision? Why was this decision taken? And what can you tell us about the efficacy of the Bharat Biotech vaccine?
The scientific community, which were deliberating, felt, and that is what is written in their recommendation, is that once the UK strain has created havoc in the United Kingdom with 51,000 cases and 55,000 cases, they felt that this virus is now in India and they have had 29 cases, and the potential benefit of this whole virus vaccine may be more compared to any other vaccine, so it will add to the armamentarium of the Indian vaccine, Indian vaccination program, to have 2 vaccines, just in case we have this virus spike up in this country. So that may be definitely more effective.
But the vaccines so far have been administered in clinical conditions. And for our viewers, I want to explain that means that the refrigeration is properly ensured, that the temperatures which are supposed to be maintained, the hygiene standards that are supposed to be maintained are properly logged. The moment the vaccines leave the airport, reach to the distribution depots, go to, say, the ASHA workers, then life changes. Then you're out in the field. Then whether it's adequately refrigerated, kept out in the open, maybe bacteria can enter. So all those possibilities arise, which creates a greater prospect of there being some kind of a side effect. How are you looking at this transition?
For both these vaccines that have been approved in India, both are robust. They can be stored between 2 degrees and 8 degrees, and they can be given at 0 days and 28 days. In terms of fixing the vaccines, you have asked, and I think that is one point where I don't think India there is no scientific evidence as of the moment to mix the two vaccines. And also in terms of the timing of the dosage, there is not much data. While the UK has said that we can give the doses after 12 weeks, but there is no data available to say that. So we will continue to give it at 0 day and 28 days for both these vaccines.
Indian team will travel together to Sydney for the third test. This means no isolation for 5 players who were accused of breaching COVID protocols by Cricket Australia during a dinner outing. The 5 players were Rohit Sharma, Rishabh Pant, Shubham Gill, Prithvi Shaw and Navdeep Saini. Australian media and CA had reported that the whole incident is under investigation, and until then, the players will remain in isolation. BCCI and team sources, meanwhile, have maintained that there was no breach. Also, there were reports of Team India not willing to play the 4th test in Brisbane. Queensland's health shadow minister has now responded to the report, saying if Indian team is not willing to follow the rules, then they should not come for the series finale.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.